Okay, so I got a phone call in the middle of that last video, and I don't know if I'm able to string them together or not, so I'm going to start over. Just real quickly. So I've got steering wheel in my car. Really exciting. What I want to do is remove this airbag to unbolt the steering wheel so I can take it inside where it's warm and remove the buttons and the trim and transfer it over to the new Alcantara wheel. The main thing you want to remember to do, first and foremost, get in the trunk, unbolt the negative battery terminal and disconnect your battery. It is a 10 millimeter. You can use the wrench right out of your toolkit, or you can use a socket, doesn't really matter, but make sure you disconnect your battery, because as soon as you disconnect Mr. Airbag, if the battery is connected and there's juice to the car, you will get an airbag light, and you'll have to go find somebody that's got a tool to turn it off, and most indies charge like $50 just to turn that light off. So keep that in mind. What you want to do is insert a screwdriver in the back of the steering wheel right here where my finger is. There's a little slot here, and there's one on the other side, obviously back here, so it's behind the steering wheel. Insert any type of a device, screwdriver. Flatheads work better than Phillips heads, but I am a professional, so I can do this. But what you do is you insert it into the little port there, if you will, and you just, it's hard to explain. You just feel around, and you'll catch, at some point, you'll catch the, I can feel it. It's hard to do with a Phillips head. You can feel it. There's a little spring-loaded mechanism right there. And I'm going to put this down because I can't do it with all my hands. I mean, with one hand. So, let's see. See, even a guy like me who's done this more times than I can count can encounter an issue with this. Alright, so what I did, while inserting the tool and running that with my right hand, I'm putting my hand on the airbag like this, and I'm pulling up away from the steering wheel to get it to release. And as you can see, I got a nice big fat gap there. That means that side is released. And so as I put you down here again, I'm going to go in on the other side, feel for the same thing. And again, it's really just a matter of feeling your way. I wish there was a way I could explain this better, but it's so hard to, I mean, how do you tell someone about feel, right? You really can't. So what I did there, sometimes if you release the one side, if you release the one side too far, you can kind of get it jacked up. Okay. So, wrestle it, it does come loose. And I'll explain what I was doing there just a second ago. As you can see, you've got a nut in the middle. You got two little connectors here for the airbag. Again, do not do this with the car plugged in to power. Not only can the airbag pop, you'll ruin your airbag. So if you look on here, what you want to do is gently get a tool right where the green meets the yellow, and you want to push in and pry up. And when you do that, you see the little connector? It pops up. You wiggle. It's easier to do with two hands. Connector comes off. Okay? Again, same thing on the black one. Insert on the side. Pull up with a screwdriver. Wiggle. Boop. Comes out. Now, I have my airbag. It's nice to actually have an airbag too, by the way. My old car, I had a fake airbag to fill the hole. So it's very nice to have airbags again. So set Mr. Airbag off to the side. Now we simply have to deal with the steering wheel itself. Again, just to show you what I was doing, if you take, and again, we're going to insert the screwdriver in the back side of the steering wheel. I want to also say here, when you insert this thing, where is it? Crap. Sorry guys, I know these camera angles make you sick to your stomach. It's hard to do this. So when you put it in here, be careful that you don't push the screwdriver too much towards the dash. If you get too excitable with that and push real hard, you'll tear the back of the steering wheel. And it looks like crap, and even though you never see it, it just bugs me. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see it on the video, see the screwdriver right there moving just barely? What you're doing is you're hitting this right here. This little rod goes all the way up and you're hitting it, and if I do it right, see it move? That is what you're doing, because there's a little clip in the back of the airbag right here. See that little slot right there? It's coming through on the video. Yeah, you can see the little hook almost. That hooks in behind here like that. And so by pushing it in, it releases it and allows the hook to come out so that you can tilt the airbag out of the car. Okay? And that's really all there is to it. I know it looks hard. You have to do it by feel. The main thing I can tell you is feel for the spring, because it's spring loaded. Feel for that spring pushing back against you. Okay, you can see in that hole right there, the end of my screwdriver. When you have the airbag in the way and you can't see what you're doing, you just want to feel with your hand the pressure. And when you feel that pressure come against your hand, you know you got it right, and pop it out. If you can get a helper, it's really easy to take two on each end and go at it with both hands, pushing in, releasing both sides, and then pulling the airbag out. Because there are times, and it even just happened to me just a minute ago, where I've released the right side first, and then when I go to release the left side, because it's at an angle in here, it actually jams this up and you can't release the tension. So you have to pound the airbag back in, and then I always switch sides and do it again. So just, you know, it's one of those things you kind of have to feel around, but it's not hard. I mean, it's held in by just these two little springy clips. So again, hope that makes sense. Then what you want to do is disconnect the connector in here from the time ring or slot ring or whatever the heck they call it. There's two connections there. That's what connects your multi-function buttons and your cruise control and all that stuff to the car. So you pull those out. Now those are free. And again, they were in right there. I don't know if you see it in the video, but there's two. It's very simple to see. Now all we have to do to take the steering wheel out is remove the center nut, which is, oh, it sucks so bad. I thought it was 17 millimeter. It's actually not. So I'm going to try and pause this, and then I'll come back and show you how to get it off. But I mean, it's really not that hard. It's 16 millimeter nut. If you do, I'm going to use Mr. Impact Wrench because I'm by myself. If you're working with a friend, all you have to do, you can use a breaker bar. Just put it on there and have a friend hold the wheel, because what happens is when you torque on it, you're going to go against the steering wheel lock when you're doing a loosen, and you don't want to risk breaking that. So have a friend hold pressure against the deal as you're turning it. I'm going to use my impact, so no big deal. But I'll show you this in just a second.